everybody, and welcome back to Shay's Hobby Doc Bay again. So this is a question of the week video. And this week's question that I have is from Audie, my friend Kathy Parsons. Her channel name is Crafty Mississippi Crafty Girl, or Miss Crafty Girl 42, I think. It's been a while, so I'm forgetting. Yikes, I'm sorry. Anyway, y'all know her as Kathy. That's her name. Her nickname's Audie. I grew up with her calling her Audie, so she's Audie. That's A-U-D-I-E, if I'm not pronouncing my words right. Audie. I would tell you what it's short for, her middle name, but she don't like her middle name. Anyway, so she asked the question, did you graduate from high school? She already knows this, but I guess she figured maybe all of y'all want to know this. But I know I've told y'all this before. No, I didn't graduate from high school. Yes, I regret it. I wished I could have went ahead and finished school and graduated and even went on to college and really become something, made something of myself and got smart. Wouldn't be struggling for money right now. So anyway, but yeah, I started out going to public school. Then when I was 11 years old, there was a lot of, a couple of years I failed. I've told y'all this before, but I know I have new subjects. A couple of years I failed. I just wasn't good in school. And then one year, I missed a lot. Mom actually took me out because she took me to the doctor because I'd cry all the time not wanting to go to school. The doctor told her I had school phobia. So Mama took me out and didn't make me go that year. So I was behind. I was older in age, but in younger grades. And so when I was 11 years old, I was really actually only in the 4th grade. No, maybe the 5th. I can't remember. Anyway, so we switched churches at the time, and the new church we started going to, a friend church that they fellowshipped with had a Christian school in it, and Mama wanted me to go to that, so I did too. I wanted to try it out, something different and new. I was always liking something different and new, so they put me in that, and I liked it. I did good. They went by the ACE paces, and they had numbers, and they didn't go by grades. It was hard to know what grade you was in, actually, because they did have a chart, like saying this number for this subject is such and such grade, and all this kind of stuff. So, but to be honest, all the different numbers of the paces of the subjects, like science and history, or maybe it wasn't history, spelling, math, social studies. I had science and social studies. Spelling. I had English language. And anyway, all the different subjects. I can't remember. But in each subject, I was like in a different grade because the numbers were different, the level that I was in that subject, you know. So I could be in 5th grade in some, 6th grade in some, 7th grade in other subjects, you know. So it was just hard to pinpoint exactly what one grade I was in. So that's how that worked. So I went to that school until I was until I was 16 years old. And it was my decision. I decided I didn't want to go no more. Well, actually what it was, I asked Mama, could I do my school books at home and not actually go to the school? And she let me. So I did, and at first, you know, I would work in my books at home, and then what I'd have to do is go to the school, I guess, and grade them. Because in that school, you graded your own books anyway. You had like a scoring table in the middle of the classroom, and you would raise your flag when you finished so many pages and got to a certain point, and you would go up there. You'd have to ask, can I go score? And they'd say yeah, and they had red pens on the scoring table, which stayed on the scoring table. You couldn't bring them to your desk. And they had the other books that showed the answers up there at the scoring table. So you found what book you was in and number, and you went to your pages and you looked, and if you used the red pens. If you got the answer right, you checked it with a red mark to know that you did. I think, if I'm remembering right. But there was something about, if you got something wrong, you had to put an X, and you had to leave the scoring table, go back to your desk, redo that problem to see if you could get it right, then raise your flag to ask to go back to the scoring table, and when you went back, then you looked at it again, and if you got it right, I think you had to have your teacher to initial it or something like that, for the scoring parts on that part. So anyway, but Mom let me quit going, and I would work at first I worked in my books at home, and then eventually it just panned out. I stopped working in them, and I just didn't do school no more. I've tried 2 or 3 times to take my GED and have failed. That proves how bad a person I am when it, comes to schooling and smart. But anyway, but I do wish I could have finished. So I never did graduate, and I do wish I could have finished and graduated and went on to college and really become something, made something of myself. I always used to, when I was younger, and even up till I got married, and even now, if I could have finished school and went to college and made something of myself, today I would still love to be a secretary. But I always used to want to be a school teacher, a secretary, or a librarian. And I just think those would be fun jobs if I was smart enough to do them, and had the college education to do them and all that. But no, I didn't graduate, and that's my story on that, and I'm sticking to it. Sticking to it. Alright, guys, so that's all I have for you for this time. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Audio, hope you enjoyed the answer to my question, and I hope everybody else enjoyed my question and the answer and all of that. And so I'm through, so I'm gonna let y'all go, leave you alone. I'm out of here. Next time I'm going to lose.